Hey YouTube, this is Crazy Salt and we're coming to you with our next Alliance War. Today we're going to be taking in our normal attackers, which are Star-Lord, Iceman, and Magic. Instead of taking lane 6 today, we are going to be taking lane 4 because we do have a new Alliance mate that does have an R4 5-star Void. So he's going to be taking lane 6 from now on. And in this first fight, we do have the Rolling Thunder node and the Outlast node. So usually I think it is going to be a Spider-Man or an Electro, but it does turn out to be a Quake. And Quake is actually a pretty simple fight. We just usually try to take her to an L2. The reason we try to take her to an L2 is because when she charges her heavies or her L1, we do get some charges on us and it can either stun us or it takes off a little bit of our health. So we don't want to worry about that, so we just take her to an L2 and we take her down fairly simply and quickly. And this next fight is going to be a special one bias, which is a 4-star cosmic duped champion. Usually when we see a 4-star cosmic duped champion, we think that it's going to be a Spider-Man Boid, and as you can see, when we do go into this fight with our magic, it does turn out to be a Spider-Man Boid. And what we like to do when we fight him, we like to take him to his L2 as well, because his L1 can be a little bit pesky. Even though it's not too hard to evade, we'd still rather take him to an L2 because it's much easier to evade than his L1. So right here you can see we take him to his L2, he quickly drops his L2, his spider sense is available now, so we're going to stun him and hit him with an L2 and he's down. And this next fight that we're going to be going into is going to be a 4-star duped cosmic champion as well. It is a all or nothing node. And usually when we see a 4-star duped cosmic champion, we think that it's going to be a Hyperion. And spoiler alert, it does turn out to be a Hyperion. When I recorded this fight earlier during the week, I had to actually post this on Twitter and send it to my alliance mates because this fight had me in such awe of how amazing Magic is. And I know normally when you do an all or nothing fight with Magic, you put a power 1 boost on her, and that's probably what I should have done instead of what's going on right now. Hyperion gets to an L3 fairly quickly, and he hits us with an L3, and we go all the way down to 51%. That's terrible. A 4-star Hyperion putting in work against us, and we hit him with an L2, but as you can see, our limbo takes us back to 96%, and this is why I love Magic. We got a little bit lucky there that we had limbo active when we got hit by the L3, but still, that's perfect. As you can see, for some reason I forgot to record the last fight. Our Star-Lord did take a little bit of damage and he was only at 30%, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to go into this next fight. This next fight is a 4-star skill champion, which is going to be a Crossbones. Crossbones is a fairly simple fight. All you have to worry about is when he does have the Furies up, he can negate those stuns and turn them into Furies. So we do have to be careful of that. But for the most part, Crossbones is a fairly easy fight. We just have to keep baiting out the L1, but as you can see right here, I make a mistake of hitting him with our L1 and he gets to an L2, and we just have to stand there and take that block damage. But this is a fairly simple fight. We're just going to keep baiting out the L1 and we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. And I believe this is the last L1 that we're going to have to do, and he's down. The next fight is going to be a 4-star mutant champion. Usually when we see a 4-star mutant champion on this bleed, breakthrough, limber, and rolling thunder node is an Iceman. So we taking in our own Iceman, and we don't really care about the cold snap damage, because this is the only fight that we're going to use our Iceman for. Because I mean, he doesn't have enough damage to take on a mini boss or a boss node. So right here, as you can see, the alliance that we're taking on, they put an Iceman here that has recoil damage. And just a little tip, if you are going to put a Iceman or any other champ on here for that for this node, just make sure that the person that you are placing on this node does not have recoil or suicide masteries, because this fight becomes much easier, and this is supposed to be one of the harder fights of the regular nodes. And as you can see, we took down that fight without taking any damage besides the cold snap damage. So now we're going to be going into the mini boss fight. This one is a pretty easy fight. We just have to worry about the kinetic reactor, and this is a Juggernaut, and we just have to worry about him going unstoppable, and like I said, the kinetic reactor. And we just have to kind of time our specials right, so we don't get power drained at the worst possible times and stuff like that, but I'm sure everyone already knows about that. So our goal here is to power drain and power lock Juggernaut so that he is not able to use that many specials, because we don't want him to be in unstoppable mode, because once he gets into unstoppable mode, he can push us back all the way to the wall, and he becomes a pretty powerful champ once he pushes us to the wall. But as you can see, we're just backdrafting right here, and we're pushing him to the wall, so we don't have to worry about us going all the way back into our corner. We hit him with an L2, so we power lock and power drain him. Right there, we're going to hit him with another L2 before we get power drained ourselves. And we go in a little bit too quickly there, and we get punished for it, but that's perfectly fine because we're not going to be taking on the boss, so we don't have to worry about too much about Magic's health. And we hit him with an L2, and he's down and out right there and then. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this Alliance War. This was our 7th win in a row. We went from tier 9 all the way down to tier 5, which is great. And if you did enjoy watching this video, please do not hesitate to hit that like and the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next Alliance War.